welcome to WTFSutter Season 5. I'm trying to nonchalantly pretend that I don't have a bird. We announced Jimmy Smits today, joining the cast of Sons. Very excited about that. Been a fan of Jimmy's for a long time, and it's fun to give him the opportunity to do something a little different. Although I am aware of the role that he did on Dexter, I did not see it, but you know, it's just cool, I think, to take actors that are, you know, normally seen in one light and try to turn them around a little bit and give them an opportunity to do something different. And it's a cool character, you know. It's in the beginning stages, so right now, quite honestly, it's somewhat two-dimensional, and as we write more episodes and develop deepen the character, we see who the guy is, and it's great to have an actor like Jimmy who I can bring into the process and bring up to speed and allow them to contribute to the process and help turn, you know, what I hope will be a three-dimensional character by the time we're done. You know, I had that experience last season with Ray McKinnon, who did Potter. You know, Ray brought a lot to that role and made a lot of really interesting and quirky choices, and knew the direction we wanted to go in, but really was able to just add another layer to it and really help make the guy you know, three-dimensional. And my sense is we'll be able to do that again with Jimmy's character, who's Nero Padilla is the character's name. What else? I tweeted my website, sutterinc.com, and kurtsutter.com went up, and it's just basically a portal to the same old shit you guys already have access to, just kind of pulling it all in one place with Twitter and this, and there's also an opportunity. There's a section of the website that allows you to ask questions, so you can now either email me the questions here or ask them on the website, and if I'm able to, I will also try to just sort of straight up answer people's questions either on the website or on Twitter, so it's more than just one at a time like we do here. And that's the drill. I think we'll do probably one or two questions today. Our first question is from Elizabeth Thompson. Hi Kurt, Elizabeth from New York. I'm a huge fan of the show. Have been since season 1. Have a question regarding Tara's new role with the club. How are the members going to react to Tara's new role? They didn't seem pleased during the last scene of season 4 when she came to speak with Jax. Are they going to accept her, or are they going to... Don't bite my screen. Are they going to accept her, or are they still going to feel loyal to Gemma as their queen? Thanks so much for taking the time to answer these questions. Blah, blah, blah. That's a really good question. I'm actually having those conversations now with the writers and with and started to have the conversations with Maggie. You know, Gemma has such deep history with the club and all those guys, and really, you know, we've seen throughout this course of these 4 seasons, you know, she really is sort of the maternal energy in the club, and you know, has a relationship with all those guys on that level, and you know, and I don't think that'll ever change. I think Gemma will always sort of be that person. You know, Gemma's obviously the power structure has changed with Clay being out. But I don't think, you know, I don't think that will ever go away. I think the bigger issue really is, you know, Tara's new role and her trying to fit in, and and the guys, I think the guys like Tara, they have respect for Tara, so it's not like they're going to feel like they're being disloyal to Gemma by trying to understand Tara's new role. I said this, I think, in last week when we were talking about Tara, that the interesting thing for me this season with her is that it's not so much am I in or am I out this season, it's okay, I'm in, but who am I in this role? Can I be, Dr. Tara Knowles and still be, the old lady's president? We will see the burden of the responsibility land on Tara this season, in terms of Jax's role and Jax being president. And we'll see her embrace that responsibility and struggle with how to be that queen for Jax and yet still have all the same fears and doubts and misgivings that she had in the past. Like, that stuff doesn't just go away, it's just that she's trying to figure out what to do with that energy. So a lot of times in these first few scripts, it's really gauging, okay, where is Tara at here? Is she supportive of Jax? Is she, is all the fear and any of the other stuff, is it all in the back so she's able to lead with that sort of strong supportive face, or does some of it leak out in this scene and she can't help but be afraid or worried? It's really trying to figure out the balance of that with Tara, where you never really had that with Gemma. Gemma was pretty fierce and kind of led with that all the time, and then you would find moments of where she would crack and you would see that vulnerability come out in other ways. With Tara, it's really trying to figure out, with the character, what does that game face look like? How do I be strong and supportive and bury or somehow not lead with my innate sense of, fear, or, oh, this is really bad for us, or, what's going to happen to our children, all the things that are part of the life. So, I think that'll be the bigger issue rather than whether or not the club will accept her. Because my sense is that these guys really love Jax and are supportive of Jax, and are, my sense is that they'll want to help Tara with that transition. Whether or not she embraces that will remain to be seen. Let's do one more quick one. Don't scratch my screen. That's Biff, by the way. Let's see. Let's do a new one that just came in. This is interesting. This is really from season 1 and 3. Hey Kurt, it's from Joshua Hind. Hey Kurt, SOA, awesome, huge fan of The Shield. Writing from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Love New Mexico. Remember in season 1 when Tristan gets raped in Funtown? Who could forget? It was clown rape. Gemma was so insistent of her mother not burying the truth. Then in season 3, Gemma gets raped but did not follow her own advice. Just wondering why. I mean, I actually think, Josh, that if I'm not mistaken, I think we actually made a point of that in season 3 or season 2. They're all blurring together now, but I do know that there was a scene post-rape that Gemma had with Tristan where we tried to thematically play that energy of, that ironically, these were two people that were suddenly experiencing the same thing. I think we did that, or perhaps I'm just imagining we did. I think Gemma was really thinking, in that advice to her mom, was really just thinking about trying to protect the kid, and having a sense of what was best for the kid. And then Gemma not telling the guys about the rape, you know, as we saw as the season progressed, was really about Gemma manipulating the power of that, you know, and taking, you know, and taking what was ultimately such a destructive and violent and invasive act, and you know, and being able to turn it and use the power of that against her attackers. You know, so in Gemma's case, I think it was about manipulating the truth to her own end, to ultimately, you know, protect or save the club and bring sort of vengeance on the people who harmed her. You know, and I think Gemma had the capacity to do that, clearly more than a 10-year-old girl would have had to do that. But I'm not, you should look in season 2 and 3 and see what happened in that scene between Tristan and Gemma. It happened in a church. I think we addressed that, or we tried to address it thematically, or perhaps not. It's just all one big Harley blur for me at this point. So that's it. Thanks. This is coming a little early into the holiday here, and we'll do this again. We'll do this again next week. And thanks for watching.